Hey, Eugene D'Souza here from sparksflamemedia.com, bringing you the best tips, tools, and strategies for reaching more customers with digital media. And in this video, you're going to learn how to use Google Trends in a way that you've never seen before. In fact, in this video, you're going to learn how to do market research using Google Trends that'll save you hundreds of hours and loads of money and still find buying intent keywords and markets that people are searching for every single day, every month. The way I apply the insights in this Google Trends tutorial will help you find sub-niches and markets and the products that people are buying in them. Even if you've used Google Trends in the past before, or you're completely brand new to Google Trends and you have no idea how to use it, I guarantee you that you will find something completely brand new and learn a new way to do research inside of this Google Trends tutorial that you can go ahead and apply to your current business and any future businesses that you plan to start. If you stay to the end of this Google Trends tutorial on how to use Google Trends, I promise you I will share with you a process that multi-billion-dollar Fortune 500 companies use that you will never have to ask yourself the question as to how to do market research ever again. So let's get into that first piece, okay? Where I like to start is, funny enough, on something as simple as Google Trends, okay? And I like to try and use buying intent words that customers would, or prospects at least, would be searching online. Terms like buy clothes online or where to buy clothes online. And you can see that this is just filtered on the US from 2004 to the present, right? And this little dotted line over here shows that it's forecast to increase in search terms. And if you just scroll through here, you'll see the various states as well as other related queries. And this gives me other ideas on actually, how I can go ahead and, target this market or build into my strategy. Is it actually going after cheap clothes or expensive clothes or somewhere in the middle, right? Are people actually searching for clothes online and where to buy them online, right? And just interesting things that you generally would not have thought of if you didn't actually do this homework. So let's head over and check now based on kids clothing, okay? And the reason why I've done that is because these are other search terms based on demographics. So for those of you that aren't into marketing and talk the lingo, demographics simply just refers to things like age and gender and so forth, okay? Now you'll see that I've already pre-populated this with 5 search terms for different sub niches essentially, or demographics. And you can see here that the one that seems to be standing out for me here, and it may be a really good indicator for us building out the next few lessons in this free mini course, is women's clothes online, right? So you can see here that this is for online women's clothing, and you'll see that this seems to have the highest search volume, and the little dotted line tells us that it's going to trend upwards, okay? So that would give me a really good indicator that that might be a market that I would want to enter just based on that search volume, okay? And you can again just scroll through here and you can see which states are searching for, which search terms. And you can see that one search term of online women's clothing is just dominating the searches, right? Even things like best women's clothes online tells me that women are looking to buy good clothing online, right? So this is something that many people, forget. They don't go and do this really, really basic homework. Now you've probably already figured out, but this clip was taken from another video. And this video is from a free mini course that I released right here on YouTube on how to start an online clothing store. Now, I know you may not want to start an online clothing store. Hey, you may not even want to start an online business, but I share tips, tools, and strategies that you can apply and use for any business, online or offline. And if you'd like to give that free mini course a check, I'll leave a link to that course in the description as well as in the YouTube card above. And if you stay to the end, I've got a special bonus tip for you where I'll share a free tool that you can use to further your product and market research and even validate a market's potential. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go ahead and then get into the next bit that many people just don't even think of, because either they've just never had the training or they don't, think this way. But I'd like you to consider actually looking at the market size and the market potential. And the way you do that is by looking for sites like Statista, Business Wire, and some of the others. And I don't necessarily need to read this entire dossier and report. I can just simply look through here, because what I'm looking for is validation, right? I'm looking for validation that this niche, this market, is something that I want to enter into, okay? That there is enough room for many, many players, okay? Because a lot of people will look at a market and they will think, oh man, there's already people in there. There's already competition. It's way too competitive. I look at it the other way around, that when there's competition in the market, it shows that there are buyers, there are customers for what you're selling. To me, that's a positive indicator, right? So let's head back over now. Public service announcement. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to try and over deliver even more for you. So here's a golden nugget for you. If you are starting an online business or have an online business already, but you struggle to find products and services that sell consistently month in, month out, then you're going to want to check out Ecom Conquest. Ecom Conquest is a complete done-for-you research service, which gives you market research like no other. Inside of this completely done-for-you research service are research reports. These reports are packed with industry and market and niche breakdowns that you've never seen anywhere else before. These breakdowns are focused on the actual services and products that you can use to go ahead and sell more products and services to your existing customers. Here are just some of the things that each Ecom Conquest research report includes. Up to 30 affiliate marketing programs that are curated for you, and they include the cookie duration, all the links to the home pages, the affiliate sign-up pages, as well as the percentage of commission that you would earn for that affiliate product. Up to 10 winning e-com products if you're into that physical e-com game. Ad copy ideas for your physical winning products, as well as subscription business model ideas for you to be able to go ahead and create a complete business where people pay you every single month and you have predictable revenue coming in. We share with you cause marketing partners, as well as what that payday could look like if you ever had to flip your e-com business, right? As well as 2 courses. One of them shares with you how $1 million brands generate upwards of $1 million per month with their digital media businesses, where they combine e-commerce, subscription, affiliate marketing, and a whole bunch more in order to be able to build these media empires. So if all of that sounds cool and you want to model businesses like that and jumpstart your business, then you're going to want to check out Ecom Conquest. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description for you to check out Ecom Conquest. Now, back to the video. And I'm going to take you through just some of the metrics that I quickly look for. So I look for how big, how large the market is, right? So the size of the global apparel market in 2020 was $1.5 trillion. Yes, $1.5 trillion, which is huge, right? So the next thing is, has the market been growing? So since 2015 to 2020, the market has grown 2%. Now, 2% may not sound like a lot, but 2% on a $1 trillion market is huge. That tells me that there's more than enough room to actually play in, okay? Now, let's go ahead and dig back in, okay, to some of the other stats, okay, and some of the other facts that I look for. So things like key apparel markets, okay, so women's wear is one of the markets that leads. Now, if you wanted to go and supply apparel in the Chinese market, that seems to be quite a large market, okay? Now remember, it depends what type of business you're looking to start, okay? If you're looking to start a business, an online clothing store in the US, then disregard what you come across where you see, the market size in China and the potential in Europe or something like that, right? So I'd like to, show you that there are generally sub-niches that people don't even consider, right? And some of these sub-niches may be things like secondhand apparel, okay? Now, that might be a bit more difficult when it comes down to the part where we have to source product, okay? But underwear
all of us wear underwear, or at least a lot of us wear underwear. Okay, now, would you have thought to actually go into the underwear market? Okay, or lingerie, right? That's a huge market, and one of the examples that I'll share with you a little bit later is actually a company that kind of supplies similar product, right, to their audience, which is a woman-based audience. Okay, now let's keep going through this because I want to just go through these really quickly because this just needs to prove validation for me. Okay, and this here is the largest apparel market in the world is the United States. Now, if I go ahead and I compare that with the trends data that I got from Google, Google said that women's online clothing was going to be trending. And now I've just read that the US is the largest apparel market. Okay, now with that tells me that I may want to consider starting a women's online clothing store that is focused, at least in the beginning, on doing business purely in the US, just because the market size is bigger. Now, that could come with some cons, and the cons could be that it might be too competitive, but I know that there's a market there. Okay, so let's flick back here and let's go to Business Wire. And again, I'm not looking through this in huge detail. Okay, I would if I was going to be actually, throwing my own money at this. I'd like to understand it, but this gives me enough confirmation that there is market here. Okay, that there is a market here, and that we will do okay in this market. We might even do great in this market, right? When I start to see numbers like $1.1 billion in clothing and the apparel, globally, those are big numbers. For most people, if you could get a tiny percentage of that, right, that would be life-changing for you. Now, you may or may not have the aspirations to want to go and start the next Adidas or Nike or Louis Vuitton or something like that, right? You may. Or maybe you want to start a very niche, culturally based, mission-based movement in clothing, and that might be the thing that gets you going. So let's have a look here from Ibis World, and now you can see that some of this is blocked off, and that's okay. What they do is they share some facts over here on the side. Now this is the clothing boutiques market in the US from 2005 to 2026, and that means that we've still got about 4 to 5 years to go. Now, $18.4 billion for clothing boutiques in the US market in 2021. That's just in 2021, which is huge. That tells me again that generally when we're talking about boutiques could be men, women, or kids, right? And generally, and whether this is just me or not, the word boutique tends to lend itself to a more expensive type of, quality clothing, etc. Okay, and if we flick back here, you'll see that clothing boutiques in the US market size had growth in 2021 of 1.6%. So this tells me that this is pretty cool. Okay, that there is definitely space for us over here. Okay, however, let's also be real, because has the clothing boutiques industry in the US grown or declined over the past 5 years? And yeah, Ibis World reports that the market size of the clothing boutiques industry in the US has declined by 6.5% per year on average between 2016 and 2021. However, the market size of the clothing boutiques industry is expected to increase in 2021 by 1.6%. This gives me a good feeling. I would still enter this market and give it a go.
As promised, that special bonus tip is right here, right now. So if you want to learn how to use Amazon for product research or to validate a market, then go ahead and click on the video somewhere around this screen. I'll check you in the next one. Stay well, God bless, peace.